Here are two facts that alarm the scientific community. 1. The world population will reach almost 10 billion by 2050. And 2. The Earth is running out of farmable land and water. In fact, every year, billions of trees are cut down to make space for agriculture. And if that wasn't enough, farming is responsible for around 20% of humanity's greenhouse gas emissions. So how can we feed a growing population without destroying the planet? Well, there might be a way. There's a new technique called vertical farming, which could allow humanity to grow more food than you'd ever imagined, and all with the help of AI and robots. But while some think this is the future, others think it will never really work. So let's weigh up the pros and cons of vertical farming. Until 12,000 years ago, humans didn't have settlements. They used to walk the earth, hunting and gathering whatever they could to survive. And then something radically changed. They discovered agriculture. This practice boomed and expanded rapidly. And today, cropland covers about 12% of all land on Earth. So, what's the problem? Well, continuing down this path is not sustainable. You see, over the centuries, unsustainable farming practices have caused widespread soil degradation, combined with vast deforestation, urbanization, and misuse of fertilizers and pesticides. You know the climate crisis? All these elements are threatening to destroy Earth's ecosystems. On top of this, conventional farming accounts for 70% of global freshwater use and results in unsustainable levels of CO2 emissions. So how can humanity farm more sustainably in the future? Throughout history, technology has played a crucial role in addressing the needs of a growing population. Thankfully, several sustainable solutions are being developed, and one of the more ambitious technologies is vertical farming, a system in which crops are grown indoors in cutting-edge facilities with fruit and vegetable plants vertically stacked, one on top of the other, in protected environmental conditions that are always monitored and controlled. Vertical farming also doesn't need soil. Crops are generally grown in nutrient-rich water. This is called hydroponics, or they are grown in the air, and this is called aeroponics. These systems could play a key role in alleviating land scarcity and soil degradation. So, how does it work? Well, since there's no sunlight indoors, vertical farming uses LED lights. It also harnesses sophisticated smart technologies like sensors, AI, and automation to enhance efficiency by precisely controlling all the factors that contribute to plant growth, such as nutrients, light, temperature, and humidity. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world or what season it is, you can now grow crops anywhere, anytime. Vertical farms are already being installed in places like abandoned buildings, underground parking lots, and even shipping containers. This has allowed humans to grow food in urban environments like Tokyo and Cairo. Today, most food travels thousands of kilometers to reach people's plates, but growing it locally could avoid hundreds of megatons of CO2 emissions. For certain crops, vertical farming could produce 10 to 100 times more crops than traditional farming. With traditional farming, 1 square meter of land produces about 9 lettuces in a 4-month harvest. Compare this to vertical farming, which could produce over 600. And one of the best parts, this clean environment also lowers the risk of pests and diseases, reduces the need for harmful pesticides, protects crop yields, and saves precious water. In fact, you can reduce water use by up to 95% by keeping it in a closed loop of irrigation. But vertical farming does have its drawbacks. First of all, it needs a large amount of energy, much more than traditional farming, mostly due to the use of artificial lights. And if this energy comes from fossil fuels, it will produce CO2. Secondly, while vertical farming is well suited for crops like leafy greens, herbs, and smaller vegetables, it's not currently suitable for dense crops that demand significant space or longer growth cycles. In addition, these farms rely on people trained in a new set of skills. All these factors mean a lot of investment is needed. So, what to do? Well, experts around the world are working to find ways to run vertical farms on renewable energy like solar or wind power and recycle waste heat and CO2. A solution must be found, because by 2050, about 70% of humanity will live in cities that will grow larger and larger. In this scenario, vertical farming could become a precious ally. After all, thousands of years of agricultural innovation has already changed human lives for the better. And though it currently has its limitations, vertical farming carries the potential to reshape agriculture once again. Experiments by NASA have even shown that vertical farming could one day allow humans to grow food on space stations, or even on Mars. But meanwhile, back on Earth, vertical farming could take on two massively important challenges: reducing CO2 and growing enough food for everyone. Please spread the word about climate change solutions by sharing this video, and like and subscribe if you would like to see more. Thank you.